Hello everybody, Mike, aka the Magico13, here with episode 29 of the Out of This World series. As you will remember, last time we were checking out a UFO near the south pole of the moon, and now we are going to a completely different biome. Well, preferably we're going to a different biome, but first we're going to jump over to this Kethane field and do some more mining there. And basically this episode is just jumping around to all of the different biomes on the moon, all sped up at least 4 times. Actually, I think it's just all sped up 4 times. I've cut out a bunch of stuff. Basically, I spent a good at least 2 hours. I think it actually was like 3 or 4. I have about 2 hours of video, and that's after cutting things out. Just all condensed into a 20-minute episode. I end up not showing you a lot of stuff later on, but I figure at first might as well show you the entire process of getting around and jumping between these different biomes. As you can tell, I probably was a little bit too high this time. Most of these I don't do with very great skill, but with most of these we're landing on Kethane deposits, or in the next jump we'll land on a Kethane deposit, so it's not really too much of a concern. But the standard procedure is to land and then extend the Kethane drills, send someone out on EVA to get whatever science we can. Yeah, this one I think is unfortunately in the same biome as the last one, or at least we've been to this biome, so nothing worth keeping. So we refuel, take off, head south, trying to go to the poles. There are 2 regions down there, actually. There's the poles and the polar lowlands. So I am sorry that I didn't get a video out last Friday. I just didn't end up having enough time. I kind of stupidly was, I needed to finish some stuff for this video, and then I just kind of kept playing, and I'm very, very close now to finishing the full Joel 4 mission, which you will see in the next episode or 2. I haven't quite finished it. I'm on Minmus right now, but I only have like 2 more biomes to visit, but my game crashed and then I had to leave. And so I haven't actually been home until just a couple hours ago I got home. And I've been gone for the past couple days. And unfortunately, I will be going away again in a week, and so I don't know if I will have a full set of videos, so I'll probably have 2 this week, and it's possible I won't have any next week. If I do have one, if I have only one next week, it'll probably be Friday. There's a chance I might be able to get enough videos out of the footage that I'm collecting now, but I don't want to show you guys another one of these kind of things just on Minmus, so I'm probably going to be able to cut that episode pretty short. And Lathe is, well, you'll see what happens with Lathe next episode. So with all of these landings, I'm just switching between Ethan and Maxim. I'm leaving all the guys in the lab module just hanging out there, because they're not really that important. Take a couple pictures. I don't actually know which one of these pictures that I take is going to end up being the cover, but you obviously will probably see it when it happens. There's a chance that it's a picture that I didn't show me taking. But yeah, so we've hit 50 subscribers now. I'm very excited about that. We've been hovering around like 45, 46 for a little while, and then all of a sudden we got the remaining 4 or 5. And so now that we have 50, and at the 25 I said I would do another special at 50, so now that we're there, I need to do a special, but I don't have anything planned yet. I'm considering doing some sort of colony ship in this series for the 50 subscriber special instead of doing a separate episode like I did for the 25, which if you haven't checked out the 25 subscriber special, that is the Icarus project video where I send my 25 subscribers, or Kerbals with their names at least, into the sun. I just fly them on a kind of large ship into the sun, and frankly it was pretty fun. This, however, is not. This is crashing. Crashing is kind of fun, but not really all that fun. Especially by the end of this video, I was getting very, very tired of playing. This is actually split up across a couple different play sessions, at least 2 different ones. I think it's actually like 3 or 4, because this is ridiculously boring for me to do. But yeah, so if you have ideas for what I should do for the 50 subscriber special, and you don't take too long to tell me them, as in, like, don't reply, like, 3 months from when this video is posted, because that really won't help me out much. However, you can. I just won't do it for the 50 subscriber special. I might do it for something else. But yeah, I'm considering like a colony ship to Lathe, because that's where we're at technologically, or at least where we will be for sure after I finish the Jool 4 mission. Because frankly, we will have a large majority of the tech nodes unlocked, I think. Just based on how much science I get from the moon, and then combined with the fact that Minimus has a higher science multiplier, and we get a lot of science from Minimus too, we're going to be pretty set, I think. Which is good, because we've been kind of in a lull recently. Wow, I cannot combine these words together, apparently. Yeah, we've had a period of time lately where we just haven't gotten a whole lot of advancement, which is why the Jool 4 mission exists. But yeah, so 50 subscriber special, if you got ideas, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to do a colony ship. And depending on what all we unlock and all of that, I might do what one of the subscribers had recommended that I send a colony ship out to Ike or Gilly, which are comets in the Alternis universe. And I may try to do that, because I think that'd be kind of unique, and would be more unique than a Lathe colony. The Lathe colony would just be more appropriate at this point in time in the series, but that's, I don't know, less fun. It'd be fun for me. I don't know if it'd be fun for you guys, so yeah, let me know. And now I'm going to stop rambling on about that. So this is trying to get to the polar lowlands. We have already done the poles. And then we're going to hop up towards the equator more and try to do all of the craters up there. And I think this one is, yes, this one is the polar lowlands. And so we do our full assessment of temperature and 2 mystery goos and material science and EVA reports and all of that. Fly around a little bit and get all of these, make sure to collect them, not get stuck between the parachutes again, because that did happen on pole, which was frustrating. Oh yeah, it's getting stuck between the... Yep. Doing a great job there. Can't remember. That was Maxim. Good job, Maxim. I'm assuming that you are still watching this series, and if so, good. You have gotten to do actually a lot recently. Can we be done with the poles now, Maxim Kerman? Yes, after crashing into them enough times, he's plenty satisfied with the poles. So with that, we take off again, and we head to a crater, I think. I either cut the video, or because you really didn't need to see it, or I just never recorded it. So yeah, this was East Farside Crater. Ethan Kerman jumps out, plants a flag, 8 Joolian 4, landing 8, Moon 6, East Farside Crater. Probably going to weather the eclipse here, since we can refuel and it's nice and sunny. As you can see, we are soon going to have an eclipse. The Joolian eclipse, which, as you all know, is absolutely awful and is one of my least favorite attributes of the Alternis system. So we basically turn everything off that we can once we're done refueling, and then time warp up until the eclipse happens, which is just about now. You can see our shadows directly below us, which means that Jool is directly above us. And then we do actually run completely out of electric charge, unfortunately, but it is, I think, a 12-hour period that you have to get electric charge again before it starts killing Kerbals, and luckily we didn't have that problem. So once we get through, we bring the Kethane miner back online, head off into the west. We're going to basically be chasing the sun the entire time, just heading west as we land on the Kethane fields, do some time warping, which will cause us to move east, and then just keep heading west and staying in the sun as long as we can in order to always be able to be refueling. Now, once we unlock fission reactors, we won't have to worry about that so much because we don't really need solar panels. That's if I decide to send ships with fission reactors on them. They're heavy and dangerous, kind of. I don't actually know how dangerous they are. I've never actually played with much of the Interstellar stuff, and I'm looking forward to it. But yes, so we are just trying to land on some of the midland craters, I believe this biome is, and that looks like a really rapid descent, partly because it's 4 times time acceleration, and partly because it was a kind of rapid descent. But this is Midlands, which I believe we already have a full set of data for, but we get another set anyway. It just really won't be worth much. Somehow not a crater. Oh well, a little more inward probably is. Figuring there's a giant hole in the ground, that's definitely a crater. So storing all of those experiments, hopping in here, resetting all their things, and yeah, you can see we're just kind of north of the crater just a little bit, according to the biome map. So we head on south, which is the direction we are facing, into the center of the crater, which will hopefully have a slope that's not 11 point however many degrees, and will hopefully be closer to 0. Yeah, there we go, like 1, 5. Yeah, those are all nice angles on the moon. Any angle is good on pole or minmus, however, except like 90. Because those things have nothing in terms of gravity. So, very close now, dropping down to about 1-2 meters per second, just kind of hovering a little bit, and there we go, we have a landing. The low altitude thing likes to complain all the time, though, when we're not technically touching. So this is Midland Craters. Woot! Craters! Ethan Kerman. Yes, so the two of them switch up almost every time. I eventually end up just forgetting who went last and just pick a random one. I think I'm fairly good about keeping it every other, and I don't actually know if I show you every single landing. I may have forgotten to record a couple of them. Also, you may notice that my ALCOR lander does not have transparency in the windows. That is an issue with LoadOnDemand. You'll also notice that we are low on fuel and far too low in altitude, and so we end up crashing. Yeah, we've got 1,300 meters per second of delta V, and we need to get about, maybe an eighth of the way around the moon. So we need this to be a fairly efficient transfer down to the twin craters, which is where we're headed next, which is fairly close to where our intercept currently is, but that, however, is past the Kethane field, so we have to stop a little bit short so as to not miss it. Yeah, there's just that one hex, which is like halfway in the field, but not quite in the field, so it's kind of annoying. So yeah, we've got 100 meters per second, and we've got 30 velocity to kill. Yeah, so let's do a quick save as. This is with Alt F5. It is a feature of 0.235, so that is stock. You do not need mods for that. Try to save some velocity, not velocity, fuel, but with 4 meters per second left, we tip the thing over. And so let's try this again. And we end up wasting fuel going up, and landed, and not tipping over with 28 meters per second of delta V left. I could not have gotten any closer, pretty much, without crashing. And our specific impulse is only like, it's decent, but this is a skipper engine, so we waste quite a bit of fuel with that. So yeah, 27 meters per second of delta V, that's not bad. But we refuel, get this. You will have noticed, however, that, which is what I was showing you before, this says it's the Northwest Crater. By some weird voodoo magic, this is the Northwest Crater, which is quite a ways away, but we needed fuel, so whatever, we landed here. Yeah, the Northwest Crater is nowhere near here, but according to the biome map and according to the game, we landed in it, so that's one biome we don't need to go to. However, that's the one biome I actually kind of wanted to go to, because the Northwest Crater has some of the really cool anomalies, like the memorial, and I think it also has a moon arch, and I've never been to the memorial, and I really want to at some point, but unfortunately I will have to do that at a later time. So even though we have refueled, we need to actually do the twin craters now, because we're just sitting on the edge of them, and we haven't actually done them. But I end up bouncing and falling over, so I have to attempt that again. And we're just going to leave the drill out for whatever reason. That way when we land we can continue refueling without having to actually do anything. And also because the Kethane refinery is still running, which is actually upping our delta V because it'll convert into liquid fuel and oxidizer and will lower our dead weight because we won't have that 150 units of Kethane hanging out. So we land, but it's really twitchy, and so I try taking off because the landing legs are doing something really weird. I have probably broken them from too hard of a landing, but I can't actually tell that by right-clicking on them, and my computer just went to sleep. But, okay, so we are just getting the science out of these from twin craters. Ethan does a flip and falls over, starts repairing the legs, which immediately re-break, apparently. But they seem okay, go around, get all the science again. I think there's still one more leg that needs fixed, or a couple more legs. But planting a flag is our most important priority. And you'll notice I have started shortening things. This time we're actually in the crater, Ethan Kerman. Thank you, Ethan. I know for a fact I think you still are watching, because I talk to you every now and then. Yeah, so twin craters are done, northwest crater's done. Honestly, there's only a couple more places we need to go. We still need canyons, we need the crater near the canyon. I don't remember which one that is. But yes, that's the east crater, I think, is the next one we had to do. I didn't show the landing for that because it frankly wasn't very interesting. I think it took me a couple tries and I was just getting really upset. By this point in time, I've done most of these landings all in one sitting, and it's really annoying. So I start going through the science we have and transmitting things that are worth 100%, because that will allow us to start unlocking things. We still have 180 left over, but that allows us to get 2 more nodes, which will then free up the nuclear engines and also the fission reactors and all that. For when we come home, we will already have the prerequisites unlocked, and also we might be able to transmit some stuff home prior to coming home, getting another 120 science, unlocking those before we even bring in the rest of the science. So actually I'm pretty satisfied with this. Once we get the nuclear engines and the large electrics, which has the gigameter range dishes, I'm going to be very, very happy, because that means we can start going interplanetary without really any effort. Which will be a huge leap since we've pretty much just been stuck in the Joule system, which is not a bad thing. I love the Joule system. It's a lot of fun. But, yeah, I've completely forgotten what landing this is and how many times it's been on the moon. We're technically in the entrance to the canyons, but we're not really in the canyons, but we get the science for it, and that's all I really care about at this point in time, because frankly, I'm exhausted at this point. Yeah, I mean, this is an abridged version of what I did. This is all sped up 4 times, and this was a lot of video cut. This took me a long time. And this is actually a different sitting now. Just going through transmitting things. Everything that gets transmitted 100% gets transmitted while we're in range. Temperature scans from the biome I'm in get sent because I can just retake those really easily. So this is the last stop before Lathe. Even though we missed the northern basin, I think we will be okay. We did miss one biome. For sure we missed the northern basin. I just didn't want to go there. There was no Kethane fields anywhere nearby. It was going to be totally out of the way, and we were going to get stuck in the nighttime. And nighttime lasts quite a while here. It's like a 12-hour nighttime or something. Which I suppose is kind of normal for, like, Earth. But we take off, and this time is our final takeoff from the moon. We are not landing again with the Jool 4 ship, which doesn't have a name. I never thought to name it. It's a little late now. I mean, I'm almost done with the moon, honestly, is the longest mission. If you want to name it, if you have a name for it, feel free to put it in the comments. I might start calling it that for the next episode, because I haven't done the audio for it yet. So if you get a name to me pretty soon, then I will start using it. This is the end of the episode, though. We are done with the moon. Next stop is Lathe, and after that, Minmus. So thank you all for watching. I will see you all next time.